And now your number one show, I think maybe the only one on your list that is also on my list.
Then it must be good.
Yeah, it must be.
Double Toasted Live is out there in Seattle, Washington on December 12th. You can go to dtmerch.com to buy your tickets. You can go to x1entertainment.com, which is where the tickets are actually being sold. And you can also find a link on doubletoasted.com.
But let's get into Martin Thomas's top 5 television shows of 2025. It's been a good year for TV, I think.
It has. I mean, most of the years have. You know, back around The Sopranos, we hit a steady golden age of television. And that was, wow, how long ago was that?
20 years or so. Something like that.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I always, the moment for me was when Breaking Bad, came out. That's when I was like, all right, TV is actually something I can respect.
Yeah. I mean, there were really good shows up to that point, but that seemed to be the one that caught everybody's attention.
Yeah. But that's not this year. This year is 2025, and we're going to talk about the shows that caught your attention. We're going to go through Martin's, and then we will go through mine. And let's start out with the number 5 movie on Martin's list.
I mean, number 5 TV show?
Number 5 TV show.
We make movies. Movies!
So that's why I got confused with movies, because they're making movies. But the number 5 TV show is The Studio.
The Studio, yeah. Great show. And, you never know how these things are going to work out. But this being such a fun show of showing you, I guess, the behind the scenes on being a movie producer with Seth Rogen as our main character. And it's an Apple TV Plus show, but it's such an HBO show from the way they pull in all these celebrity cameos. And it reminds me of a lot of shows they did back in the day. But when they would do that, but what's cool is so much of it is done with the continuous shot, the oneer. They even have an episode about making a oneer where everything keeps going wrong.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah, I absolutely love that one. But this has such a great first episode, especially with him. The whole thing of he wants to make really important films, the ones he grew up loving. But as a studio head, that's not what they want. As a matter of fact,
art don't make money.
Yeah, exactly. Especially having Bryan Cranston as his boss telling him, like, we're making a Kool-Aid movie. And the idea of a movie about Kool-Aid is it's so perfect, because it's like, it's the kind of shit we have to sit through all the time. Yeah. And it seems, and you laugh because you're like, oh, let's take it to the extreme. It's ridiculous. And you're like, wait, no, it's not.
No, we just had a Barbie movie be a smash hit.
Right. But it even plays off of that. The fact that, like, he goes like, okay, well, the Barbie movie, it was smart and intelligent and subversive. And we could do that with Kool-Aid. And they're like, no, you're not. Nothing like that at all.
It is a really good time. Although I didn't finish it, I thought that the production value and everything about that technically was really, like, blew me away.
No. You should finish it. Now there are some episodes that aren't as good as maybe those first 2 or 3, but it ends pretty strong.
I can imagine. I mean, I saw, I think, 3 or 4 episodes. I saw the one with Anthony Mackie and Ron Howard, and that one was really good.
Really
I thought.
Good, yeah.
Like, because at first I was like, what are you guys doing with this? But I was like, wow, they're talking about every movie I almost love.
Yes. The fact that they're sitting there watching a movie going like, I think this is the best movie I've seen maybe ever. And then it goes on and on. And then like this. And I was like, shit, I can't count the number of times I've been there.
Yeah, moral of the story is get that last 20 minutes out of here. We don't need it. The number 4 TV show on Martin's list. So, Department Q.
Mm-hmm.
What is this?
This is a British crime show on Netflix, starring Matthew Good. And And this show opens with him and his partner going on a routine investigation where a cop is already there and they're coming in to check on it. And they ask him, did you clear the room? And he says, yeah. And they're looking around. They're making jokes with each other. They're pretty snarky, the two of them. And whoever was there in a mask steps out with a gun and shoots both of them down.
Oh, man.
I mean, they are essentially dead. And this is the opening of the show.
And I bet that he looked like this when he shot him. Not like this.
That's more of his PTSD face. I mean, as far as we know, the shootings look fatal.
Mm-hmm.
We cut to some many months later where it turns out they did survive. His partner is paralyzed, and Detective Mork, he's back, but he's pretty shaky.
Mm.
He was already a snarky guy who's super angry and fragile, and they welcomed him back to the department, but it's more of a, we don't really think you should be back, but it'll look good to have you back because it was so in the papers. But Department Q is they set him up in a basement, a basement office that has been abandoned for years.
They treated him like Milton in Office Space.
Kinda, yeah. And he doesn't want to be there. They've given him a case that he's reluctant, like to say the least, to work on. But it's about a female lawyer who has been kidnapped or has gone missing. And it's been some years, but they've never found a body.
Okay. Sounds like some really good drama with a great setup.
It is. It is a great setup. And it's one of these shows, one of the shows that I nearly put on my list because I always love it every time it comes on is Slow Horses, which is about British MI5 agents. But it's the British MI5 agents. Like they were at MI5 or MI6 and they up and they're like, you got to go to this department here. This is the last stop before you get completely fired. But it both shows the writing is just so good.
Okay.
Especially the dialogue back and forth. And Matthew Good, it's a trick to pull off a character who is always angry and always grumpy and always insults everybody.
It can feel so one note and feel like there's no variation to it.
Yes. And it can make that character unpleasant to hang out with.
For sure.
But he's not that.
Okay.
I mean, one thing is like some of the stuff he says is really, funny, even though he's, he's a dick, but also he's really good at what he does. Competence means everything. I heard this term recently, competence porn. And that's watching shows where the people really are good at what they do.
Okay.
So this is one of those. And he's been, they've saddled him with another detective while his partner's out, who is from Syria. Very quiet guy who, very subservient and does whatever. But he alludes to a past that perhaps he was an interrogator or a torturer or we don't know what. But, he plays it very close. But, when things get heated, some of that comes out.
Would you say that this show is it seems from what you're saying, it's very grounded and very, very stems grounded. In reality. Do they maybe do anything? Because like the intro gave a little bit of a psychedelic or like something going on, like something in his mind or.
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
Nothing like that.
Okay. Well, it was a cool intro and it sounds great. Moving right along. Number 3 TV show from Martin Thomas of 2025.
What is it we actually do here?
Well, this right here is Severance season 2.
Yeah.
Season 2.
Much awaited season 2.
Yes, much awaited. I only saw like the first half of the first season. I got distracted and I never finished it, but I liked what I saw.
Don't blame you because this is a rebound show for me. I love it more because I didn't like it at first.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, everybody was talking about Severance in the first season and I watched some and I was like, okay, so this is just a show that's weird and it's, I guess, making fun of office culture. Sure, why not? I guess. But by the time I started getting to like the third and fourth episode, I started to see that like, oh wait, there's a whole lot more going on here.
Yeah, at first, the thing that I thought was interesting about it was it obviously reminded me of a video game, this game called the Stanley Parable.
Okay.
Where like it just starts in an office and like you go through one door and then like eventually you just get back to that office and go through the office again. Pretty obvious similarities, you know.
Yeah.
But this show goes really deep with that idea.
Yeah.
And with season 2, I mean, they got some crazy visuals in here. Like, I don't remember them doing a whole lot of stuff with food, but things like this really like make your head tilt. Like
a watermelon carving of John Turturro.
A really good watermelon carving. And oh my God, that is the Jesus. Oh my God, I love that. So is the show is this season filled with crazy stuff like that?
You know, yes. Not to a point where it's distracting.
Yeah.
But it does. Yeah. You get a room full of goats and not a real explanation for it yet. But I mean, it's with people. But, you know, it's been real good about like by the time you get to the second season, we're more into the plot, but it's also other weird things. And it's doing a good job of, okay, the longer you stick with us, we're going to keep answering those questions that you had before and explain what's going on. However, there's going to be some other things that aren't explained. You're going, wait, what? What's that for?
And they're introducing a lot of new characters, it looks like. Like, I don't recognize any of these characters from the first season. Maybe they were in there later on.
No. These are different characters, but they aren't like, let them stick around for a long time. It's more of a 1 or 2 episode thing.
So it sounds like a lot of great character acting and a really fun mystery.
Well, it was always before, especially with the first season. I mean, and maybe start to answer this in the first season, but really it gets answered in the second season. But there's that, all right, I'm going to go to this job where the NDA is so extreme that they erase my memory while I'm there. So there's no way I can divulge to where I've split into 2 personalities. And it's always that, why would anybody sign up for that? I mean, you initially think, all right, money, you got to be desperate for money. But for something like that, that would mean the rest of the world is post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, right.
And it's not. So so what is the motivation? So we're getting closer and more answers about that.
Moving on to your number 2 TV show of 2025.
Or how hard you try, someone might die. That's called being an emergency medicine doctor.
And this is called The Pitt. Something I heard a lot about, but this is your number 2 TV show. Tell me, I remember you mentioned like you went on a trip and you guys just got caught up watching this.
Yes. We had gone to California. And so back in the 90s when NBC ruled Thursday night, you know, whether they were showing Friends or Seinfeld or Cheers or The Cosby Show, always at 9:00 it was ER. And that was the show. You know, Miracle Dramas Go. George Clooney came from that show. So many other people. And when this first episode of The Pitt came out, to see it with Noah Wyle as the lead, because he was one of the main characters on ER back in the day, we started watching it, and it had a very similar look to ER, but at the same time, the episode finishes, and it felt like, well, that was kind of dry. I don't know if we're gonna keep watching this.
Just a quick, like it felt like just a lengthy setup, didn't give you much to chew on.
Yeah. And in between that time, I have a good friend who's an ER doctor in Florida. Talking to him about the show, he's like, I hate that show. And I was like, yeah, it's kind of dry, right? He's just like, it hits too close to home. It's too much like work.
Wow.
It's too accurate, which made me go, maybe I need to rethink this.
Yeah.
So on this trip in California, our daughter came to stay in our hotel room. She was the one who was like, you guys, you gotta watch this. And we were like, all right, we'll come over. We'll watch it. She said, I don't mind watching from the beginning. And once we, rewatched that episode and saw how it went into the next one, and we couldn't stop because, it's the 15 episodes that are they're all real time in this one day in this ER. And it's one thing after the next. And it's not, the human drama is there, but it's all about the medical emergencies. And it's a fast roller coaster pace that just doesn't let up.
I like when shows do that 24 thing where like they fall, but it's really hard to pull off. And I can see how something in a hospital would be just super intense. I've heard that the show, like, it gets pretty graphic at some points.
Yeah.
Like
it's on HBO, so they don't have to hold back on anything.
But just from that clip and that guy going, "Hey, get the nail out of my heart," it's like, all right, I guess people are nailing each other in the heart. And now your number one show, I think maybe the only one on your list that is also on my list.
Then it must be good.
Yeah, it must be. Martin Thomas's number one TV show of 2025.
Can I tell you a secret?
Yeah, please.
Okay, just go with me for a minute.
You know how bad my life is right now? Ah, great. Now my room service is here.
And of course, this is Common Side Effects, the Adult Swim show. I'm so glad that you saw this. It's amazing.
It is absolutely amazing. And this all came from a lot of shows I latch onto. It's because New York Times, I have a blurb about them. And they're not always right about shows. There are plenty of times they recommend shows.
There's a lot of critics in the newspaper that sometimes it's like, can you make it less obvious that you got paid to write this?
Yeah. I mean, or they just have different tastes. But just reading about, okay, it's a Mike Judge show. And I thought, well, let's give it a shot. And just, you know what? I came to like this show instantly because of the main character, Marshall.
He's so likable.
Yeah, he's so likable. He's so humble. I mean, an overweight guy that walks around with his shirt open all the time.
You gotta respect it.
Yeah.
With a hat, no less.
A hat, no less. Yeah. He's so humble. He's so likable. He reminds me of people I know. And yeah, his whole thing with the girl from school was that he had a crush on from way back coming into his life. But the idea of this miracle mushroom he has that can cure all these illnesses that seem to work. I mean, not just cure illnesses, but regeneration. Probably.
Yeah, I mean, there's a scene where someone is suffering with dementia and they take it, and that shit hit me like a ton of bricks. It reminded me of that scene in the Planet of the Apes movie when he gave the dad the medicine. And he finally started playing piano. Yeah. And the way that this show kind of differentiates from that and goes off, like some of the things that character says is like, it's very profound.
Yeah.
And it's talking about something that relates to everybody because it's about health insurance, something that everyone should have.
Yeah. And Big Pharma. And it has that angle of him being hunted by, different agencies, that doesn't, a lot of things will go into this and it'll be so fantastic that they just feel like, yeah, okay, paranoid fantasy or sure, let's play this up for the movies. And this doesn't feel like that. It's the kind of thing that feels like, yeah, this really feels like this is how this would go down.
I remember when this was coming out and I was talking to you, I was like, it's animated, but it feels so much more real than all these other things we get.
Oh, yeah. It's really like a show that would be on AMC. It just happens to be animated.
Exactly. Yeah. And when they do take it, to these like crazy looking things, these visuals, it's because, they're trying to portray some psychedelic things and it's not like off base or just out of nowhere. There's a reason for it. And of course it's within context, but that was your number one TV show. Is there anything else that you wanted to mention about it?
Yeah, it's just, these are the shows that when I would spend the whole week waiting for the next episode. With Common Side Effects, I kind of got lucky somewhat in that by the time I heard about it, 3 or 4 episodes had already aired.
Nice.
So I had a good little build up, but then it was the Come on, man. When is Sunday gonna come around again?
Is it raining? Because it feels like it, man.
Well, would you look at that? You made it to the end of the video. That means you really like us. So just go ahead and press that like button and subscribe while you're at it. And check out our other channels, our social media like Instagram, TikTok, and our Patreon, where we have new stuff coming up all the time. And we'll see you on the next video.